Hello, dear traders. Gabriel here. Welcome to my channel, Forex.Real.Trader coaching sessions. Today we will start module 5 with real trading strategies in Forex, and we will be working on the detailed criteria and implementation of our first trading strategy. In this case, high impact news scalping, right? So let's first understand the foundations and essential criteria, and then we will observe the strategy in action with the two previous live trades I executed a few days ago. So what is the foundation in this case? So basically, we need to understand that when we trade news, we have to focus on 10 key aspects, right? The very first element that we have to understand is that we only trade high impact news, right? So that is critical. So what are the high impact news? Let me show you here. So we have these ones as high impact, right? Where you find these news. Remember in previous videos, I showed you a very nice website, which is this one here, is a Forex calendar. And here we can see all the news that are going to be released on a very particular day and time. And that is the way how we can scan the markets. Remember that I showed you that we can filter the information. So red news are the high impact news. By default, the website is going to show you something like this, right? So it's going to show you all of them. So I just filter like this. So all the red news are the important ones. But out of those red news, I only trade these ones, right? Because they are very volatile, very liquid, and they can render nice profits, right? So here's how we can observe them. Another aspect that's very important to bear in mind is that we trade those news with criteria, right? What is the criteria? The criteria is this one, that they have percentiles, right? They have percentiles. Those news are the ones that we're going to bear in mind. For example, news without percentiles is something that we're not going to trade. Okay, it's just a little tip in there. So that is the first criteria, that we're going to focus on those news that are high impact news. Okay. What is the next thing to bear in mind? Correlated. We only trade correlated pairs with the news released. My humble advice is trade only majors. Okay, that is to say, if here the news is released and the news is, for instance, um, here Canadian dollar. So I'm going to trade all the pairs cross with Canadian dollar because those pairs will react to the news event released with this economy, with the Canadian economy, right? So it would be advisable, for example, Euro CAD, right? Or USD CAD, okay? Why? Because both of them have in common the CAD news that is going to be released. And is what? Is a CPI, and that is very volatile and very liquid. All right. So that is the reason or the meaning of trading these type of news, right? So that is only correlated pairs. Third, we're going to trade with minimum 24 pips, right? In the stop loss distance. Don't worry, I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it once I showed you two trades that I performed a few days ago, right? And once we see that, I will tell you exactly how to structure the trade, okay? The next thing here is the timing. The timing in scalping is critical. So I'm going to place my trade minimum 3 minutes before the news is released. A piece of advice: if you have any other trade open and there comes a volatile, high impact news, the recommendation is to close that trade, okay? Because you never know. Probably you could be in a winning, and the impact of the news is going to bring back all those profits to a loser one, right? So that is a very important suggestion. Do not keep open trades when there is a major news release. What is the next thing here? We're going to place two trades. That is the key point with the scalping strategy. We place two trades at the same time, a bull and a bear, because we are expecting that movement. Okay, there are three things in here that might happen. Either the trade goes up, goes down, or there is not really a clear direction, and the news will not generate enough impact to trigger neither of them, right? 6, super duper important. Do not move stops, okay? It's something that we never do in any context, in any kind of trade, okay? The next, wait for the minute to close the trade direction. Let's suppose the news executed your trade. So when that happens, what you're gonna do is basically waiting, right, for the minute in order to leave that trade. Okay. The next step is this one. Close the untriggered trade immediately once the triggered trade is executed. Okay. So it means, remember, we have two trades. So if one is executed, automatically close the other one. You will see on the video how I do it. Right. Another thing is close the trigger trade again once a minute has passed, right? Do not wait if you're in a losing one. Do not wait to see what happens in the coming minutes. No, okay? So that is the reason, because the name is scalping. It's something that we do like a flash. Get in, get out. That's it, okay? And in 1 minute, you know if that is a winner or a loser, okay? And finally, if none of them was activated by the news, close both trades that you placed. Okay, so let me show you the video from that news that I placed a few days ago. Okay, here we go. As you can see, this news was placed on this date, March the 3rd, 2025 at 9:57. Why? Because the news was released at 10 a.m. This is the news that I traded in that moment, okay? So it was a reset. It was about 2 minutes before the news was released, okay? So now let's see what happens. Let me forward this one here. All right, here you go. This is the one that I'm trading. These news in here, right? This is the one. Observe my indications. We have two orders set in here. So I have this buy stop order, and I have this sell stop order, right? So I have two orders in this moment. They are pending orders, right? That's it. And the news is about to be released. Look at the time. It's 9:58 in that moment. Okay, I just wait, relax, no more. Just let's see what happens. I monitor. Here is around 45 seconds. Okay, so I just leave it in there and just wait. Okay, 30 seconds. All right, here we go. I want you to observe something very interesting at the moment, okay? And is that the spread is very tight. Is very tight in this case. Look at this. It is 10 o'clock. Look at this. It's 10 o'clock and the news was just released. Look at the time. It is 10 o'clock. The news was released and look at the spread, the distance, okay? The distance is absolutely crazy, right? And almost touched my buy stop order. Is far from my sell stop order. So let's see what happens now once the news was released. Look at this. The movement tries to come down, coming down. Okay, just activated my bear trade. And you see, I closed the other one. I closed the bull trade. I want to look at this. I had a deed open when it came down, right? When the bear movement of the news turned down, I closed. Pay attention here. I closed the bull trade. Look at this. So let me play this here. Rewind a little bit. Here. Look at this. So it is 9:59. It is 10 o'clock. Okay. It tries to activate the bull, but no, then it changed direction, activates my bear, and I immediately close the bull. So you see, I only have one trade activated, right? So the one that was triggered, in this case, is $22.35 in positive, and coming down, 64.70, 56, $48. Okay, 30 something there, 20 something. Okay, keeps coming down, right? I'm patient in there, right? So keeps coming down. That is how the trade behaved. You see? Maintains the bear move. So this news release was bearish and I close it on $29, right? So I close it with $31, right? In the moment, in the next minute, you see here, the next minute, I closed it. Okay. So I closed it here in the next minute. Look at this. In this moment, when the next minute, this candle is now 10:01, and in that moment, I close the trade. That is the rule too, right? So that is the rule. That's how we are going to trade these kind of news, right? And that's it. It's over with a positive $30 or $29. That's it. Very good. That is the way how we trade these type of news. Okay. Now I have another news to show you. This one was traded on March the 6th at 8:15. Look at this, my two directions. So I have my bull trade, my buy stop, and my sell stop. This is the news. This news was released at 8:15. Is the main refinancing rate. About 1 minute, 49 seconds to be released. All right. So I place my trade. Okay. Everything in there. Here, I'm just waiting, right? Just waiting for the news to be released. It was at 8:15. Let's forward it. 13, 14, 44 seconds to be released. Okay. You can see the details of the news on this website. Okay. Here we go. 14. That was euro dollar. So, and the news was released. And look at this. The spread widens before 1 minute before the time of the news, right? So once it is released, look at this, widens, comes down. We don't know yet. And all this thing happens at 8:15 a.m. Okay, it seems to be going up. Is going to triggered, right? It just triggered and I closed the other one. You see, I closed the bear trade. Just wait when it happens. Okay, could be winner, could be loser, we don't know. $67, $69, $64, and I closed it. That's it, right? So that is the way how we trade these type of news. Let me tell you how to place it. Let's suppose now there is going to be a release at 8:45, for instance, right? So, and I have my Australian dollar yen. I don't know. Let's suppose that now the CPI Australian dollar news is going to be released. So, what is the mechanism to place a trade? Okay. The very first thing is to go to this website, you know, the myfxbook.com, in order to calculate the pips. Given the fact that we're going to open 2 trades, so we need to calculate 12 pips per trade. So in total, okay, the risk is going to be 3%. This is my capital, the account, my size account, and the stop loss. So my long trade will have a stop loss at 12 pips. The same happens for the bear trade. So for the short. So I'm going to place it on 24 pips because I have 2 trades open in order to keep my 3% risk. So let's calculate. According to this, I can place both trades, right, with a size of 1.71 lots, right? Okay. So what I'm going to do is basically split this one here like this. So I right click, new order, okay? So this trade is 1.71. So I'm going to divide that into 2. So 1.71 split into 0.85. So the volume, so pending order by stop, my volume is going to be 0.85. So 0.85, right, for the buy stop. My stop loss is going to be the current price. So what is the current price? 95.440. 95.440. Right? That is my stop loss. I use my crosshair tool, right? Place it on the 45, on that very price, 95.440. Here, I drag it up, and look at this. I have right there 120. That means 12 pips. Remember, in a previous video, I explained this, that we always count the first 2 decimals. So in this case, it's 12 pips. So the 12 pip distance is 95.560. 95.560. So this is going to be 95.560. And look at this. Now it's activated, right? It's activated, so I can place it, right? Okay, all right. Now I'm going to do the same exercise now for the lower or the bear trade. So new order, pending. I love MT5 because by default, the last trade will be the same volume, and that is the one that I need. So I need now a sell stop. Okay, I paste here the price here, this one on my stop loss. So I place it right on the 940 and look for my 12 pips here, 95,320. So that is 95.320. That's it. So place. I just placed, look at this, I just placed my two trades. One is going bull, another is going bear. And look at this, the distance here is 12 pips, and here is 12 pips. Why 12 pips? That is the question. Because you saw in the video, the volatility before the news is released is so high, but it rarely, it should be very, very volatile, but it rarely is going to move beyond the 12 pips with measures. If you use exotics, I mean, the spread goes wild and you don't even know what happened and you are stopped out of the trade. Okay. So this is the thing. This is how you place it. Imagine, let's suppose that the news was released, right? Okay. Now we are now on the news, right? And it was released. And these in this moment, all right, so it came up, activated. So it's here, this candle, activated my news. What is the very thing I have to do? Immediately it happens. What I have to do is this. Come to the bear, right? Come to the bear news. To the bear trade, this one, to the short, and close it. Why? Because my bull was activated and I don't want to expose myself with a potential reversal. So I just close it. Simple. Very good. So now I am waiting for this one to continue, right? Triggering my entry point. Remember, this one is this is my entry point. So this is my stop loss. Okay, the news was activated. Here is my what? Is my entry. In this trade, I don't use take profit, right? Take profit? No, right? No take profit. Why? Because it's something that I'm going to close right away, okay, in 1 minute. So, okay, it went up, so I close it here, okay, if the minute is there, but definitively the other trade has to be closed, okay? And the same happens if the direction is coming down, so I'm going to close the one that is in the opposite direction. I mean, this is one of the simplest trades, right? The simplest strategies that we can implement is adrenaline. That is the thing. This is pure adrenaline. But if you are disciplined, if you follow the rules, right, you will always have that 50-50 chance, right, per trade. But if you protect yourself, this is a very profitable way of trading on the markets. All right. So, my dear traders, that's all. It was a video just focused on this very nice strategy. And if you find it useful, the invitation is to execute it, use it, practice on demo accounts before you go live. And the key here is to follow exactly the same rules and to be disciplined and always with your mind open for both scenarios. Okay, 3 scenarios. Either you win, either you lose, or the news doesn't trigger any direction. In that case, you close both trades, right? So, my dear people, thank you very much for your time. If you find, again, this channel, the contents, the information that I share with you, and now the strategies as a useful and relevant, please subscribe, share, and like. So, my dear people, Thank you very much for your support and see you in the next video. Bye bye.